Me and Big O going to talk about these coachings. That's not even what I wanted to say. Me and Big O going to be talking about these coaching irons. That's what? Let's try this again. Me and Big O going to be talking about the coach hirings that have been happening. I didn't edit out any of those mess ups. Enjoy. What is up, Finn fans? Yes, very, very, very good conversation between me and the great Big O. He has a lot to say, a lot of good stuff to say. We talk about, the quarterback coach hiring, the defensive side. We talk about Gesicki. We talk about certain players. Have a lot to talk about in this one. But before we jump into that, I have to shout out a new patron and give you guys some updates on some things that are happening in the next 2 days. First, shout out to the new patron in Freddie for Real. Thank you so much, buddy, for joining. I have a video coming out later tonight for the patrons and the members that will be released on Thursday at 10 a.m. So if you are a member or a patron, look out for that video coming out later tonight, probably around 11, 12 p.m. It's going to be a late video, so you can either watch it early tomorrow or late tonight. The other thing, I will be live tomorrow, 6 p.m., doing the giveaway for the 30K. We'll hang out, we'll chat, I'll answer a bunch of your questions, and then I'll have a few of you guys on doing the giveaway. I'll go over the rules and everything, and I might even post them so everyone who comes in late will see them. But yeah, I'll be live tomorrow, 6 p.m. to 7 p.m., going to do the giveaway. Again, it's trivia questions and all that stuff. And then the last thing, you'll notice that Big O is going to be at Slattery's Friday. And he kept saying, you better be there to me. And I asked the wife and I got the green light. So me and my father will also be at Slattery's on Friday with Big O. I think he said around 8 p.m. we will be there. So if you are in the New York area and you want to come to Slattery's in New York City to meet me and Big O, we will be there Friday, 8 p.m. But other than that, let's jump into this fantastic conversation me and Big O had. And he even gave me a video from Brian Baldinger to watch. And I will be watching that and breaking that down. And that is the video that will be out tomorrow. Well, and that, guys, hope you enjoy this video. And like usual, stay classy. And fins up. Big O. We're actually very close to having a full coaching staff.
Yeah.
That's something we're going to talk about today. But how are you doing? How you're busy. You're about to come to my neck of the woods in a little bit.
Yes. We're flying out on Wednesday night and Friday night. For those of you that are in the New York area, we're going to be at Slattery's in New York City, which is the Dolphin Bar. So we'll be there on Friday night at 8 o'clock. Sean Stanley and myself. That Sean's our producer, and he does a phenomenal job every day of putting everything together. So yeah, we're going to be out there. We're going to be with one of our sponsors, Sloman's. We're going to be broadcasting Thursday and Friday out in Long Island. And then we're going to move into the city for the weekend. And Friday night, we'll be over at Slattery's to hang out. And then I don't know what we're going to do on Saturday yet, but figuring that out. But hopefully we get to hang out with a bunch of Dolphin fans on Friday night at Slattery's in New York City. So
if you're in the area, guys, head over there.
You better come over.
I'm gonna try my best.
Get your ass over there. Let's go. Buy you a beer, give you a big hug. Come on, man. Come on over. Let's go. Let's hang out.
Big hire yesterday it's official today, but Daryl Bevel, quarterback coach.
Love it because remember, this is something that Flo wasn't willing to do. Bring an older coach in that knows more than you, that can help you, that can be a sounding board. The guy's been an interim head coach twice already. Yep. Been an offensive coordinator forever. And what I love, is that he's going to be your QB coach and your passing coordinator. And today on the show, we kind of went over it. He worked with Farrat, Tavares Jackson, Brad Johnson, and Brett Favre with the Vikings. He worked with Hasselbeck, Tavares Jackson, and Russell Wilson in Seattle, in Detroit with Stafford, and then he worked with Trevor Lawrence. So this is a guy that's been around. And I know some people will talk about the play call against the Patriots. Yeah. He's not your offensive coordinator.
No.
Your offensive coordinator is Mike McDaniel. He's not there to call plays. He's there to help the quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we need right now. Tua needs a real quarterback's coach, which is what he's going to get. Not some guy named Charlie Fry that did it in the 7-on-7s in high school. Okay. We're talking about a real quarterback's coach here, just like the whole Frank Smith thing. Because if you look at the Applebaum thing and you're like, well, wait a minute, he's kind of young and untested, but then you brought in Frank Smith, who's really experienced. So the dude, what have I think I've said it on this show and I've said it on mine. A head coach is not about building one staff. It's about building many. So what the hell do you think he's doing with Applebaum? Applebaum's going to learn from Frank Smith. So if Frank gets elevated and gets a job somewhere else as a better coach, Applebaum then gets the elevation. That's kind of what he's playing chess in this sense, that not only is he building a staff, he's also trying to build a staff that will then follow each other as there is promotion or firing or whatever it is that happens to coaches. You know what I mean? So you've got to be prepared. I love what he's doing. There's a method behind the madness right now, and Tua will have the support staff he did not have the first 2 years.
Yeah, and you could tell he is focusing hard on that offensive line and that run game, which is pivotal, especially down the road.
Studesville. I mean, not Studesville, right? Or
Studesville.
Yeah, he kept Studesville. I get Godson Studesville. He kept Studesville. He adds Applebaum. He adds Frank, and Mike McDaniel's also a run guy.
Yep.
You have 4 people that are going to be in charge to make sure that the run game is working. Trust me. The Dolphins are going to run the ball one way or another this year. Okay.
Do you see them adding like a big free agent running back, or do you see them going more through the draft?
Either one. They're going to add a running back because they got rid of the guy that was like the New England way of all that crap. So I guarantee you that they will add a back in free agency or in the draft, somebody that fits a zone running scheme. Like, yes, they definitely will add a back. There's no doubt in my mind. I would keep Duke Johnson.
Yes.
I would keep Lindsey. Lindsey fits good in that zone blocking scheme. I had Benjamin Albright, who's the insider with the Broncos, and I had him on Sunday when we were doing the pregame, the big game pregame show, since I can't say the other word. We had him on and we talked, and he was like, man, I hope they keep Philip Lindsay because he fits perfect in that scheme. And he's right about that. So I hope that they go add the guy in the draft or / free agency, and then they keep the other 2 guys. And then maybe you have a nice threesome that you can actually start the season with.
Yeah. And I'm just excited. I'm excited to see their philosophy when it comes to free agency, because the past 3 years it's been, you're over 28. We're not interested. We want the 24, 25, 26
Which
guys.
Makes sense because those are the guys who can live out. But I know where you're going.
Yep.
Because they are a 9-10 win team. This isn't a rebuild, folks.
No.
So let's in years past, everything's being reset and everything. And another rebuild. This isn't a rebuild. Relax. They kept the defensive staff together. They kept the special team staff together. They're keeping continuity there. Will they tweak? Of course. We all know we need a middle linebacker. Give me a break, dude. You know what I mean? We all know they need a middle linebacker, so they'll either draft him or sign him or whatever it is. So they need pieces still to tweak both, right? Okay, great. But the offense was broken. So that's what you're going to fix. So if you won 9 or 10 games without any continuity on offense, well, now you got an opportunity to build that continuity and you should be a better team. So this is about getting into the playoffs. I want to keep reminding people, Brian Flores got fired because he didn't make the playoffs.
Yes.
Stop talking about the 7-game winning streak. Talk about starting 1-7 against the tougher part of your schedule and then winning your 7 games in the easiest part of your schedule. That's why he was fired. They felt they were a playoff team, and he's the reason why they weren't in the playoffs. That's the reality. Mike McDaniel, get us into the playoffs.
Yeah, 100%.
No excuses. No excuses. You had an idiot that couldn't put together a staff win 9 and 10 games. You can put together a staff. That's a team that won 9 or 10 games, win 11 or 12. Yep. Let's go.
And a lot of people want to give. I said this, right? Mike McDaniel's hiring. It wasn't my first choice, but I'm happy with it. I like what I'm hearing from him. I like his philosophy. He's a very smart guy. He's been in football for a very long time. But I'm not about to say, oh, he's a rookie head coach his first year. Like you said, you have a 10 and 9 win team that not much is going to change over those, 2, 3, and now the third year. We need to see that consistent progress, especially if you can get this offense rolling. Oh, we should easily have 11 to 12 wins.
Everybody should be better. I mean, the coach already told you start Jalen Waddle in fantasy. So that's all you need to know. Obviously he's going to score a lot of points.
Yeah, and I'm excited. I'm hoping that he can like unlock to his potential and get him to push the ball down the field a little bit more, because he can do it. We've seen him do it. We've seen him do it against the Jets when he hit two passes to Ford and that fantastic one to Parker. Ravens, we saw him hit Waddle on that cross. Like, we've seen him hit these deep routes. Got to get him mentally unlocked where he sees it and he just
do it now with a line and a running game. It'll become a lot easier, dude.
Because
a lot easier.
There's a stat out there. I don't know the exact numbers, but his passing rating and his percentage over 20 yards is ridiculous. It's like the best in the NFL.
One of the better. It's one of the better ones in the NFL because he's accurate, folks.
Yes.
He's accurate. But of course, you're not going to be accurate when you're on your ass. And you're not going to be accurate when you're running for your life. And you're not going to be accurate when you're getting pressured when you're handing off the ball. I mean, it's just these things have to. Did you see that Brian Baldinger video that he put out 2 years ago on Mike McDaniel in the running game?
No, I have to check that out.
Go to my Twitter page at Big O Show. It's there on the timeline. You'll see it. A lot of people have liked it and retweeted and all that. It's like a 8-minute video. It's not a very long video, but dude, this is 2 years ago. He's gushing all over how Mike McDaniel. I said that because he calls him McDaniels in the whole video.
It slips all the time.
I know it happens to all of us, but he just gushes over McDaniel and how he structures his run game and how he fools defenses and great players that he suckers into. I want you to watch that. Okay. Now, Dolphin fans, I want you to watch that video sitting down. If you have a shot, take a shot of whiskey, smoke a fatty. I need you to relax because after that video, you may explode and blow up your house because you'll be so effing pumped about how good that looks and how he designed and the things he designs. You can tell it's not so much the player has to execute it, but it's almost like, hey, child, can you grab this paper and take it right over the trash can? Okay. Boom, drops it right in there. Hey, great. That's how they're designed. Like, dude, you just do what I say. And the people on the other side are so dumbfounded that we're going to pop one run here, one run there. It is intelligence over football. I want you to watch it. It is one of the greatest 8-minute videos you will ever see as a Dolphins fan. And, after I saw that video, I tweeted this out yesterday. And I said, because I saw the post by Rappaport. Rappaport tweeted out about the linebackers coach that he's a really intelligent coach, right?
Tyrone McKenzie.
Yeah, and that he's an up and coming coach. So I said, I apologize for my enthusiasm. I understand as a Miami Dolphins fan, we constantly get burned.
Yes.
Having said that, the more I see this coaching staff Mike McDaniel's putting together, the more I like it. Dare I say, I can't wait for the fins up season. And these are the things that's just developing. I know it's dangerous. I know that we burned and all that stuff, but I got to tell you, man, I really love the method behind the madness of what's going on and how he's constructing all of this. I see I sense that there's a chemistry with the front office and the coaching staff, something that I don't believe existed before. So I just think that you got a shot now, man.
And it's funny too, because I didn't really start watching the 49ers this year until the playoffs. And the one thing I noticed that I was like, it made me want Mike McDaniel more as a head coach is what he did with Trent Williams, where he lined him up at fullback, then shifted him, and then had him run and initiate a block and took out like 3 defenders. It's like the things that go through that man's head is just ridiculous. And I'm like you said,
Gotta watch this video. Go to my Twitter page at Big O.
I'm gonna do a live reaction on the channel. I have to.
You gotta watch it. You gotta watch it because Baldy goes off. I mean, he's just like, this is just, because remember, Baldy played on the line. So
yes, he's got the fingers to show it.
yeah. But he's got the knowledge and he understands all the stuff that's going on. So he knows what good coaching and bad coaching is. I swear to you, when you watch that, you're gonna go, wow, we got a smart ass coach. Holy crap, So.
Hearing him talk, because he went on Levitard's show talking about the offensive line, and just the way he was like, I jotted when I was watching, I was jotting down notes that he's going to work with, there's pieces there that work on the offensive line, but there's, the system will help them, and we still need to add players. Like, you're just like, oh my God, can August come already? I'm ready for preseason. I don't even give a crap about regular season.
I got to tell you, and of course I'm getting a little ahead of myself here, but for those of you that follow the Florida Panthers, Bill Zito came in last year and made all kinds of changes and did exactly what the Panthers needed, because they were a wussy ass team that would get pushed around, and Trocheck would get his ass kicked and nobody was doing anything. And I'm screaming, where's Paul Loss? Which was an enforcer we had like 20 years ago, because we had no enforcers. And he comes in and he gets Radko Gudas and a whole bunch of other guys. And all of a sudden now, last year and then this year, the Panthers will punch you in the mouth.
Yep.
They'll be the guys pushing people around. They're not going to take any crap. And that's kind of what I'm seeing right now. I'm watching it. I'm going, okay, I know what they need. You know what they need. They need a middle linebacker. They need a couple offensive linemen. They need great coaching in the offense, because that's what we've been talking about forever now, that it was the offensive coaching staff. And I'm just seeing what they need is what they're adding. So now when free agency rolls around and I see them add a lineman or two in free agency, I'm going to go, hells to the these sons of bitches know exactly what they need. And now I can tell you a 9 or 10 win team can go win 11 or 12 games now.
The thing I like the most about what Mike McDaniel's doing with his coaching staff is there's not one guy. It's not, you're doing this and you're doing that and I'm doing this and let's go. It's like you said,
coalition.
Frank Smith, offensive coordinator, but also run game. You have Wes Welker also doing some pass game stuff with the quarterbacks coach and Darren Bevel. You have so much continuity, so much working together. John Embry, assistant head coach, working with the tight ends. Frank Smith, very good with the offensive line, but also really good with tight ends. It's this huge camaraderie where they're all going to be helping each other and not, like the rumor said, come November, stop talking to everybody.
Right. So, but remember, you just answered the question that I just talked about earlier. You want to do that because you want to have the synergy, because Wes Welker might be the next offensive coordinator, might be the next passing coordinator or something from receivers coach.
Yep.
So you want to have that movement around so everybody can kind of learn all kinds of things, and then they might be able to help out in other areas or move up to the next position because they've already been trained at it for a while. So I think that's the method behind the madness with Mike McDaniel. Is an inclusive guy.
Yeah.
Okay. Which you kind of didn't feel that with Flores. Everything wasn't inclusive with Flores.
Yeah. It's that Belichick tree. It's just Josh McDaniels, Matt Patricia. Vrabel is actually probably the apple that fell the furthest from the tree.
He's not in the tree.
Oh yeah, because he was a player.
He only played for Belichick. Trees are when you coached under the guy. So that's why Vrabel worked out, because he's not on the tree.
Because that's a bad tree.
It's a rotten tree. Yeah, you don't want any of that tree. But the Shanahan tree is the one that's producing
blossoming. Now. It's a cherry blossom.
Like Reed did, like Reed did, like Bill Walsh's did. That certain trees have flourished and have provided others. Right now in today's game, that Shanahan tree is very important. And one of the reasons why is because one of the things I talked about all year, dude, you got to run the ball. Yes. You can't run an RPO without the run.
No, it's just PO.
And Marino couldn't win without a running game. Nope. So now we're going to expect Tua to win without a running game? Get the hell out of here, dude. Get a running game. A running game makes an average quarterback like Ryan Tannehill a decent quarterback.
2016.
So can you imagine if you actually get a good quarterback and give him a running game? Holy crap.
If if we can get the Alabama Tua that had a running game, that had an offensive line, that had the
And a coaching
weapons,
staff. And a coaching staff.
yeah, will be fantastic. Absolutely
fine.
fantastic.
Fine.
Looking at the opposite side, though, there's rumors out there. We'll address these rumors out there when it comes to the defensive side of who called the plays and the Gerald Alexander and the Brian Flores. Do you know why they moved on from Gerald Alexander? Was it because of his
he was
connection?
a flow guy. Yeah,
It
I
was
think he was a flow guy.
Okay.
Yeah, and I don't think McDaniel wanted anybody in there that was like strongly defending flow.
Gotcha.
Because that doesn't help him in a way.
Yeah.
So, and it's a shame because Gerald Alexander does have talent.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of people that do like Gerald Alexander as a coach and that he's got a future. Now he's a young coach. I get it. But, you know, I understand McDaniel can't have anybody that is not all in. You know what I mean? So I think if there was any doubt, then discard, move on. And if you're a good head coach, then you'll find somebody else that'll get the job done. There's other good coaches. You're going to lose coaches for one reason or another. We just said, right? Okay, well, Gerald Alexander might be a guy that philosophically or opinion or something that you guys aren't on the same page. Maybe he's still kind of disgruntled about the whole situation. I don't know. Yeah. But they had to move on from him. And I'm thinking it's more because he was a strong flow guy, probably.
And then there's the conflicting rumors and sources of who called the plays, you know, in the second half versus the first half. There's rumors out there that Xavier Howard and Agba don't like Josh Boyer. And then Barry Jackson comes out and gives us a quote from December where Agba says how much he likes Boyer because of what he did in December and turned around the defense. Which one's true?
I'm going to go with the front office because they have to have more insight than we ever will. So if the front office decided you're gone, and you stay, then I'm going to go with Josh Boyer must know something. So I don't know what to believe at this point, and I'm certainly not leaning on the flow side for anything whatsoever. Okay, so I'm just going to let it slide because I don't know what's what.
Yeah.
Okay. In the end, none of us really know what's what because there's nothing that really has been verified at all. But meanwhile, the entire time people were giving Boyer credit for the call. So all of a sudden now we're going to change. Man, the front office must know something that we don't, because if Boyer was not the guy, I doubt they would keep him. You know what I mean? And one, I'm not worried what X has to say because he's not going to be here. Doesn't matter. They're going to move him anyway. Agba, we'll see how the negotiations go and how much money he wants. Chris is not going to go crazy and overpay for people. Okay, because that. So far, that's kind of what he's shown, that he's kind of a tough negotiator in a sense. While he's the most mild-mannered guy that you see, somehow or another in the negotiations, he's a freaking bulldog because, you know, he was for the Tunsil thing and he wasn't going to pay X last year. That was all flow.
Yeah.
That was all flow that was going to pay him. He set it up in a way so he can move on from X and make a trade. And luckily for them, he didn't get injured and he had another good year. So they'll be able to move him now in the offseason. And they will, because that knee will give out at one of those knees will give out again. And then people are going to be ripping them for hanging on. But at one point or another, something's going to happen with X because he's had too many scopes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
As
and
much
you're
as
getting up, you're getting up there in years. And if you look at the season he had, he played his best football in the second half when they weren't playing anyone. He struggled in the first half when they played against several quarterbacks and good receivers. He did not play well against them. And they made all kinds of excuses. In the second half, people stopped making excuses because he was playing with sorry ass quarterbacks and he was able to take advantage. Those are the facts.
Yeah, I talked about that when I was talking about who the Dolphins should cut. And I said, you know, there's a possibility they trade X and there's a possibility they trade Devontae Parker. And it broke my heart because as much as I agree with what you're saying, I'm a big X fan. I love what he did.
Who isn't a big X fan? You got to like he gets the interceptions and at key times and has scored some touchdowns and all that. He can make plays. There's no doubt about it. But there's a baggage that comes with it, and you must protect yourself from that baggage. So I think eventually they're going to move him this offseason. They'll get a couple of picks. I think they'll give Iggy a shot, but I also think they'll sign a veteran corner that, it's not an elite corner, but a good corner that will then share time with Iggy just in case Iggy is not ready. But whether you like it or not, ladies and gentlemen, Iggy's only played a couple games. He's a first-round pick. And I don't know who really picked him, but either way, they've got to play him to find out if he can play or not.
Yeah, there's all those rumors out there of who picked who and who wanted who and who didn't want who. And
this is the best part about all of this now. Mike McDaniel does not have that power, which is what I've said you cannot do what you did with Gase and Flo. So it looks like that's what they're going to do with Mike McDaniel. Nobody was interviewing Mike McDaniel, so he didn't have the luxury of leverage. Somebody else is offering me this, that. They weren't offering him a job or power. So power he did not get with this job. So now all the picks are on the front office now. And yeah, they will accommodate the coach. The coach will say, I need a player like this.
Yeah.
It's not going to be like Flo. I need this player. Draft this guy. Sign that guy. That's how Flo was. That's not going to be the case. So you're actually going to be able to measure everything a lot better now.
So it's essentially now. What power does McDaniel have? Does he have power over the
coaching 53?
at 53?
Coaching at 53.
So he can cut people and all that stuff.
You got to do that with every coach. You got to give them the power of who to cut and all that kind of stuff. But of course, if they're going to cut a prominent player, that's going to be talked about with the GM.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean?
Last thing I want to talk about is another free agent that's potentially going to hit the market. And again, it looks like the Dolphins really added a lot to help maybe this free agent, and that's Mike Gesicki.
Antonio Brown is you want? Did you see that whole thing about it? That Kanye? He says Kanye West wants to buy the Broncos.
Oh my God!
That's the only way Antonio Brown can get a job is by having Kanye buy a team.
Well, real quick, do you believe this stuff that Tom Brady wants a part of the Miami Dolphins? There's that rumor out there that he wants like a stock or some percentage of the Miami Dolphins.
I don't believe that because I believe that the Patriots would give it to him happily. That owner loves him, dude. That owner was there for his championship in Tampa.
Exactly.
He was at the Super Bowl. He was there to hug him after the game and congratulate him. So I don't believe that rumor because I think the Patriots would easily offer him, and that would make more sense for him to own a piece of the Patriots than own a piece. And remember, he's closer to the owner than he is the coach.
Yeah.
So,
but they bring in Frank Smith, bring in John Embry. Do you see that as more? Because one of the subscribers asked me this question. Do you see that more as incentive to keep Gesicki, or do you think that's more of this system is going to be different, so they're not going to keep Gesicki?
Yeah, that's a great question that I don't think any of us know because we don't know what's in the mind of Mike. Maybe he thinks, you know what? I'll use him as a big receiver. All of a sudden, I'll just create because he's a guy that loves to create mismatches and misdirection. You got to watch this video. I'm telling you, got to watch this video.
That's the next video I'm doing.
Yeah, you have to watch this video, dude. I mean, you're going to have a field day going over it like you do with all your other stuff. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if he's thinking, I can milk him for one more year. Then next year, let him go. And that's it. Because is next year his fifth year or fourth year? Fourth year, right?
Fifth year, actually. He's a free agent.
Oh, okay. So he's a free agent. So yeah, either they tag him and keep him for one more year, they have all that money, or they give him the long-term deal, and then we'll see. I don't know, man, because he doesn't fit what they do.
Yeah.
Okay. He wants everyone to block.
Yeah.
Everyone. Wes Welker tells the receivers, if you can block, you will not be on the field. So if everyone has to block, we all know Mike Gesicki is allergic to blocking. It's just not. Yeah, unfortunately, he was born, and when he was born, they make all blood tests on you, and they find out, what's wrong with you. You can't have chocolate or whatever. And the doctor came to mom and said, Mike cannot block. And then they're looking at him going, he can't play with. No. If he ever plays football, he can't block. And they're like, oh, okay. And so Mike, at a young age, wanted to play football. Parents warned him, Mike, you'll never be able to block. And he goes, but I don't need to block. to play
Throw him
tight
the
end
ball.
and just throw him in the bun. So the rest is history. So Mike has had a full life without the lack, the powers of blocking. So there you go.
Now, my last question to you. Have you been blocked by Mike Gesicki on Twitter?
No.
I have. I don't know why. I have never talked to the man. I actually started a petition to get him re-signed, and he blocked me for some reason.
Did you say something on a show once?
No, I'm always talking about bringing him back.
No, I'm following, but I'm not blocked.
That's funny. Yeah, he blocked a ton of people. I think it was like a week or two ago. He went on this like blocking tirade where he just started blocking like a ton. I don't know what I did.
Dude, he's such a good dude.
Yeah.
He's like a fun dude. He's like a super likable guy.
I don't know why I blocked. I want to talk to him. Be like, what I do, man?
He's got to have blocked Omar Kelly, right? Because Omar kills him.
Yeah.
I gotta ask Omar. He's got to have blocked Omar because Omar kills him all the time with the whole blocking thing and all that. He just annihilates him, dude. I'm always laughing at this. Like, okay, well, there are plenty of tight ends that don't block, man. You know what I mean? So it all depends on what your scheme is. You can survive without the guy having a block, but in this scheme, I think that's going to be a problem, dude.
Yeah,
I think it's going to be a problem.
Big O, you got anything else going on besides coming over to my neck of the woods?
No, I mean, no. We fly out tonight, so we'll be out there through Sunday. We'll fly back, but we'll be on tomorrow morning and Friday, 10 a.m. from Sloman's. Home security there in Long Island. And then Friday, if any of you out there, I know Doug's going to go. Doug will be there at 8:00 at Slattery's Friday night. Okay. He's going to be there. All right. So come on out to Slattery's on Friday night, 8:00. Join us out there. Maybe we'll open up the laptop, do a broadcast, get everybody on the camera, sing the Dolphin fight song. You know, that'll go viral.
Okay.
We're in New York City singing a Dolphin fight song. That is freaking awesome.
Yeah.
So join us out there. All right. Let's crush stinking New York and have some fun singing the Dolphin fight song. But no, that's it. Follow us on Twitter at Big O Show and subscribe to the show, Big O Radio Show, Big O Radio Show on all platforms.
Yes, sir. And I will see you next week. We'll talk more about all this stuff. We're getting closer and closer to free agency. So maybe we'll start talking some free agent targets.
Hopefully I'll see you in person Friday.
I'll try my best, man. I'll try my best.
Don't try. Be there. Okay? We don't get to hang much.
That's true.
Come on over.
That's very true.
Are you going to Vegas for the draft?
It's either Miami or Vegas, and I'm going to choose going to a game in Miami. So I'll see you then if I don't see you Friday.
No, I'm going to Vegas for the draft.
Okay.
That's why I'm asking. So because you could join me over for the broadcast. So, you can have
talk to the wife,
several folks join us for the broadcast. We got 3 days of fun over there in Vegas.
Oh, nice.
So, so think about coming out to Vegas instead, bro.
Yeah, that's true.
Nothing wrong with Vegas. Concerts will be better. The nightlife will be better. It'll be fun. South Beach will be expensive.
Oh, yeah.
Super expensive.
Yeah.
You're not going to find a buffet in South Beach. You'll find it in Vegas. Although there's a different kind of buffet in South Beach, but that's another conversation as I digress.
We'll put that on the Patreon, that conversation. All right. I'll see you next week, bud.
All right. You all be good.